tuning into the channel. This is Crumpets Tea and Sewing. My name is T, and in today's video I am doing a pattern review of Butterick B6318. It is this beautiful 1961 day dress that you see me wearing right now. It is just a wonderful pattern. It is rated as an easy pattern, and I would totally agree with that. This is definitely an easy pattern. Any beginning sewist can pick this pattern up and sew without any help from anyone. All they need is the instructions that's given in the envelope. And even with the instructions in the envelope, I'm confident, even if you looked at the illustrations and you did not actually read the text, you can still make this garment. That's how easy it is. I would not recommend for you to not read the instruction. For this particular project, you will need between 3 1/8 to 3 5/8 yards of fabric, depending on your size. And you would need about 1 1/4 yards for your contrast band if you decide to do a contrasting band, a 22-inch zipper, 3 3/4 yards of seam binding, and 1 hook and eye. And that's it. That's all you need to make this particular pattern. The pattern has 5 to 6 different pieces. You have your bodice front, your bodice back, you have the skirt front, the skirt back, and then you also have your facings and then the contrasting band. It's very simple and easy. You can choose simple methods to finish off your seams. If you want to pink your seams, you can do that. If you want to use a serger, you can do that. You can also, you can fully line the dress if you want to. I will show you at the end of the video how I finished my seams. I used my serger. You can buy 40-inch wide fabric as well as 60-inch wide fabric. I would suggest a 60-inch wide fabric because with the 45-inch wide fabric, if you're doing matching plaids and stripes, you might not have enough to do what you need to do. Or you would have to buy more. But the skirt of the pattern is very wide, and so doing it on a 45-inch wide fabric, it might not work very well for you, especially if you're using the length of the fabric, which is parallel to the selvage. I would just recommend that you do a 60-inch wide fabric, especially if you're using gingham or any kind of matching plaids or stripes. One of the reasons why I feel like this is a really easy pattern for beginners, and that every beginning sewist should sew this particular dress, and in fact every single sewist should actually, this should be their actual first dress. And the reason why is because you don't have to worry about sleeves. You have these really nice kimono sleeves, and so that takes care of that problem. I would say that if you are short like me, I'm 4'11", I would recommend that you make sure that you shorten the skirt before cutting out your fabric, because I ended up wasting about 4 to 5 inches of fabric because I did not shorten my skirt. Because I'm very short, this dress is really long on me. So as you can see here, it pretty much almost goes to the floor, and that's not the way that it's supposed to be. If you look on the pattern, you can tell that the dress on someone who is average height, it's supposed to go just below the knee, and on me it goes all the way down to the bottom of my calves, so just before my ankles, and it's really long. So I am going to have to do a lot of trimming the bottom, and that could have been prevented if I would have just shortened the skirt. So in the future, I'm definitely going to make sure that I shorten the skirt. Everything else is just beautiful. I love this pattern. I love it so much that I have plans to make 2 more dresses. The fabric that I have chosen to do the next two dresses. I'm going to show you here in a minute. So this is the first fabric that I'm choosing for the next dress that I'm going to be making out of the pattern Butterick B6318. It is this really cute bird fabric. I think this is just so cute and perfect for fall because it has like those neutral colors, but it also has like this pop of yellow as well. And so it's kind of screaming like, I am fall, but don't forget that I just came from summer. I really, really love this particular fabric. So I'm going to make a dress sometime this week out of this fabric with the same pattern. The second fabric that I want to use to make another dress out of this pattern is this really nice floral printed navy blue, white, and gold fabric. It is just gorgeous. It's a calico print fabric that I purchased from Joann several months ago, and it's just been in my stash waiting for me to make something with it. I couldn't find any particular pattern that I wanted to make with this, but then after making this, this just popped into my mind, and I thought this would be perfect for the Butterick B6318 pattern. And for the contrasting band, I want to use this white and gold anchor fabric. It's just a wonderful print that I picked up from Joann's. I got this from the remnant section, and I have just enough to do a band or even a collar if I wanted to do a collar, if I wanted to add a collar, if I drop this neckline, and I can add a collar to it. So I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with this piece. I do know that I want to use it as a contrasting band or as a collar, but I haven't made a definitive decision as to which one I'm going to do. And I just think that those two would go just perfectly together. So those are my upcoming plans for the next week. I do want to do the Butterick pattern by Gertie. It is, I don't know the number yet, but it is a vintage shirt, and it's a really cute shirt with some really cute details and a bow that you can put on it. I do want to make that this month, in the month of August, and I also want to make a pair of jeans by Mimi G. It's a Mimi G pattern, and I do want to do that as well. So I have those 4 items on my to-do list for August, and let's hope that we can get all that done. I do have another pattern that I want to do. It is a vintage style pattern, and it's off my Make 9 list. I haven't really been able to do a whole lot with my Make 9 list. I've been really concerned about that, but hopefully I'll be able to get those things done soon. The only thing that I didn't like about the pattern is this high neckline. I feel like oftentimes like I'm choking a little bit, and even though it's loose and it's supposed to be a loose fitted, a semi-fitted garment, it's not supposed to be tight. And so I really appreciate that, because if it was any tighter, I think this would be unbearable to wear for me. I don't like the high neckline. It's just not something that I really like all that much, but it doesn't bother me so terribly that I cannot wear it. It's just that I prefer to have a lower neckline, and so in the future I'm definitely going to drop this neckline a little bit. But other than that, everything went just great. For my particular garment, I didn't pay close attention to matching the size of the garment, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a moment. And so again, that's why I recommend that you get something on a 60-inch wide fabric, because you want to make sure that you're matching, especially if you have obvious stripes that you need to match. With gingham, you don't really need to worry about it so much, because people don't pay that close enough attention to your garment to know whether or not each line meets up with one another. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you look on this side of the garment, you can see that I didn't really match the lines all that well. And if you look on this side, you can tell that I did a really good job at matching the lines on this side. And it's that way for various parts of the garment, you know, on the skirt, on the back of the skirt especially, and going down the back of the neck, going down the skirt where the zipper is. I didn't really do a good job at matching those lines back there, but because gingham is so busy, I'm not really too worried about it. But if you're going to be doing something like stripes or anything like that, you're definitely going to want to have that extra fabric, and then I would suggest that you get your fabric on the 60-inch wide fabric as well. I'll show you the inside of the garment as well at the end of the video so that you can see how I finished off my seams. I think this project took me about 3 days to complete, 3 or 4 days to complete, and that's starting from washing the fabric, preparing the fabric, ironing the fabric, making my cuts, and then also doing the final sewing and hemming and finishing the seams. And the reason why it took so long for me to do it is because, again, I have a 3-year-old, and so I have other obligations that I'm usually committed to during the day, and so the times that I have to sew are usually very early morning or very late at night. And so, and I only stay up for about an hour or 2 at night, and I get up about maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll have between about 5 to maybe 7 or 8 before my son gets up to do whatever I need to do with my garments. And so it took me about 3 or 4 days of doing that to complete this particular project, but it does not have to be that long. I tend to sew very slowly because I want to make sure that everything is as accurate as I can possibly get it, and it's just how I am. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to those types of things, which is why I was a little bit annoyed that I couldn't get these lines to line up, and that was basically due to me not having enough fabric. I really love this pattern, guys, and I cannot say enough about this pattern. This pattern is very basic. Going back to the basics helps you to see how far you have come and to appreciate your sewing more. And I'm really grateful to have used this pattern because it just allows me to see myself in a new way and to be appreciative for the skills that I do have. Because I have to tell you guys, after my last project, I felt a little bit defeated with the Simplicity 1278. I think for me it was a reminder of how far I have come as a seamstress. So to go back to the basics and to see how far I've come along, and it just gave me a boost of confidence to continue to sew, and I needed that. And so this pattern has a special meaning for me because of that, but also because the instructions are clear. I have not seen a pattern out there that is as clear as the Butterick B6318, and I'm not saying that there are no patterns out there that can compare, but for me, after sewing and using patterns for so many years, this pattern is just a wonderful pattern, and I feel like this pattern should be every beginning sewist first dress pattern, after you experience with a few skirts, you know, pleated skirts, circle skirts, you know, your basic skirts, and some basic tops. I think this should be every sewist's first dress pattern to make. It is so easy, so simple. Details are great. I love the belt and I love the gathers. I love the band. And at first I thought, I really don't know if I want to put this contrast band, because, you know, what if I don't want to use it with the band, because you have all these really nice gathers in the skirt. Maybe I want to show off the gathers sometime. And then I realized that you can do multiple things with this band, and I love the way in which the slants at the end of the band, on here, it's actually on a triangle. When you cut the band, this is actually on a triangle on both sides, and so it makes it so that the band can lay a particular way, and I really like that creation. The other thing that I like about this particular band is, like I said, you can wear it multiple ways, and in a minute I'm going to show you how you can change the band to where you can wear it in the front or the back. But this style here, this is how it is modeled on the envelope. This is the style that you see on the envelope. I'm going to show you a couple of other ways that I have found will be quite successful if you were to wear this band. Okay, so instead of having the band tie around to the back, you can also have it, you can bring it to the front and you can tie it to the front. And this is also a 1960 style as well. So I really love the option of doing that as well, bringing the two bands to the front and tying them at the front, and then at the back it would look like this. So basically you're just reversing the outlet. Lastly, if you're like me and you want to show off some of the gathers in the skirt, you can always take the band and just make a bow tie in the back of the garment. So that's always an option as well. There are just so many different options that you can choose with this particular band. You can wear it so many different ways. These are just 3 different options that I've shown here. I know that there are plenty other ways that you can wear this particular band as well. And all 3 of the choices that I have just shown here, they all have that style, that 1960 style to them. And that's why I really like this band. And I love that I chose a contrasting color. Besides the length issue and having issues with that because I neglected to shorten the skirt, the only other thing that I don't like about this particular garment is that the back of the skirt has more gathers than the front. It's just the style of the skirt. I would have liked to have more gathers in the front than have more gathers in the back, because I like the idea of having the waistband go to the back and having a bow to the back and then showing off the gathers in the front. But that's okay. I mean, it's not, those are just all preferences. When it comes to the actual pattern, the pattern is just wonderful. It is an exceptional pattern. You can do so many different things with this particular pattern. You can use the bodice portion and then just make a more slim fitted skirt at the bottom to attach to the bodice. You can do a different bodice if you want to and add to the skirt and still be able to attach the bands as well. I mean, there are just so many different things that you can do. You can lengthen the skirt, you can shorten the skirt, you can also lengthen the sleeves if you want, or shorten the sleeves. There's just so many different options. You can omit the ties if you wanted to and do a more tailored silhouette. I just have so many different ideas running through my mind, and I'm just thinking of the next project and what I'm going to do with the next project. But I really love this project, guys. I give this pattern a thumbs up, and I really enjoyed making this pattern. Stay tuned to see me model the finished garment. And if you have any questions or comments, you can please leave them down in the comment section below. I would be really grateful for that. And thank you so much for watching the channel and supporting the channel, and for all of your comments and your feedback. It's very wonderful to see that there are so many people out there who are watching my videos and commenting on my videos. So that's it for the pattern review. Until next time, stay creative, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so for future notifications and updates on videos like these.